You're not as smart as you think. I'm not either. But I'm going to show you how to become smarter than 90% of people. This isn't a motivational speech, it's a wake-up call. Right now, your brain is working against you. You're not lazy, you're just stuck in a mental trap. A trap most people live in their whole lives without knowing. It's called cognitive bias. If you don't learn to see it, it controls your life. It affects what you buy, who you trust, how you judge others, and how you make decisions. Here's the hard truth. Most people don't really think. They just react. They run on autopilot thinking they're logical, but they're falling into one of the brain's 188 plus thinking traps. Ever argued with someone who just wouldn't listen? That's probably bias. But here's the twist. You do it too. And so do I. Because our brains are made for survival, not truth. If you don't learn to question your own thinking, you'll stay average. Let me give you an example. You hear about a plane crash on the news. Now, flying feels scary. That's called the availability heuristic. Your brain thinks something is common just because it's easy to remember. But flying is still much safer than showering. You don't panic every time you shower, right? That's how bias tricks us. It feels true, but it isn't. So, what can you do? Use tools. Here's one powerful habit: second-order thinking. Most people only think about what happens right now. For example, I'll skip the gym today. I'm tired. Sounds okay, right? But second-order thinking asks, what happens next? If I skip today, it's easier to skip tomorrow. Then I skip for 2 weeks. I feel bad. I lose motivation. I stop going altogether. Second-order thinking means thinking ahead. Good thinkers don't just react. They plan, predict, and prepare. It's not about being cold. It's about staying calm and clear while others panic. It's about being 5 steps ahead. Let's go deeper. Your brain doesn't like hard work. Thinking takes energy, so it looks for shortcuts. That's why you scroll instead of solving a problem. Why you trust your gut instead of checking the facts. But here's the good news. Just like muscles, your brain gets stronger when you use it. So start small. Before making a decision, pause. Ask yourself, what's the opposite of what I believe? Can I argue against my own opinion? It feels strange, but that's the point. You're teaching your brain to think, not just react. Here's the bottom line. Most people live in a mental bubble. They scroll, react, and rarely stop to question anything. Start asking, what if I'm wrong? Is this emotion helping or tricking me? Am I thinking or just reacting? Train yourself to pause and think deeper. You'll start to notice things others miss. It's not magic. It's not talent. It's mental discipline. And that discipline is rare. That's why people who master it can outthink and outsmart 90% of others. So, if you've read this far, ask yourself, will you watch the next video? Or will you do something with this knowledge? Your move.